In the previous presentation, we have discussed a basic part related to continuous time convolution, which is part of second unit, that is linear time invariant systems. So in that it is split in two parts. First one is continuous time system and discrete time system. Now through this presentation, let us have overview of discrete time LTI system representation, the convolution and properties of DT convolution, that is discrete time convolution. Now, as already I mentioned, that convolution is one of the most popular and useful operation in various fields of engineering or real-time signal processing, like image processing, then deep learning, machine learning, or biomedical signal processing, and automation. So n number of where convolution is basically one of the basic building block kind of a structure which is used for finding some sort of a relationship, or maybe to get an interrelation between two functions, and which as a outcome is producing a third function due to interoperation. And convolution is also representing the most popular convolution model that is in the neural network nowadays in deep learning, that is a convolution network model, or it is a kind of a, say, we can call it as one of the major building block, that is CNN, and therefore it is useful as well. So it is basically representing a filter or kind of a filter operation. Now let us have a look in case of discrete time. So in general, discrete time system is expressed with the help of convolution model as shown here, that is x of n is equal to, first of all, it is interpreted in terms of shifted version of unit impulse function. So the original signal x of n, instead of that we will call it as x of k, when it is convolved with delta of n minus k, that is the shifted and reflected version of delta n, and when it is the convolution is carried out, then this gives the original signal. So this is also representing the kind of a sampling operation. X of n into delta of n minus k corresponds to x of k, for n is replaced by k, and it is 0 otherwise. So that is the basic definition. In other words, in the shifted version form, if we write, then x of n is equal to x of n into delta of n minus 0 is equal to x of 0 into delta of n minus 0 is equal to x of 0 at n is equal to 0. x1 of n is nothing but x of n into delta of n minus 1, which is equal to x1 into delta of n minus 1, and therefore it is x of 1 where n is equal to 1, and so on. So this way we can express. So see here, this is a small example. In general, x of n is equal to x of minus 1 delta of n minus minus 1 plus x of 0 into delta of n plus x of plus 1 into delta of n minus plus 1, so plus 2, like that. So towards negative, it is delta of n plus 1 plus 2 plus 3, that is shifted versions of unit impulse, and in the right half there is delta of n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3, and all. So the sampled signal, it may be like this. These are the samples. This is one here, here it is, then this one, so like that. So you can have n number of terms, and according to the sampled version you can plot. Now as far as convolution is considered, it is basically delta n, for that impulse response is h of n, as we stated in continuous time. Same thing is there in discrete time as well. So delta of n minus k corresponds to h of n minus k, which is a response. The linear system is in general expressed as x of k into delta of n minus k, which corresponds to x of k into h of n minus k, which is a response, output response of that particular system. Now, basic definition of convolution for discrete time signal is defined as x of n equal to sigma x of k into delta of n minus k, where k is ranging from minus infinity to plus infinity. Now, here we can write as convolution of x of n into h of n. So it is called as a convolution sum. The way in continuous time we called it as a convolution integral, here it is a convolution sum. Also, h of n into delta of n minus n0, which is equal to h of n minus n0. So this is a shifting property, and delta of n is equal to h of n minus n0. Now by definition, y of n is equal to h of n into delta of n, which is nothing but h of n. And due to time invariance property, h of n into delta of n minus n0 is same as h of n minus n0 into delta of n, which is equal to h of n minus n0. And as far as multiplication is considered, it is delta of n into g of n minus n0, which is equal to delta of n into g of minus n0. So this is a reflected version. Now, as far as properties are considered, discrete time convolution, that is also same as continuous time. It is commutative, associative, and distributive. So, commutative property, as far as considered, it states that x of n convolved with h of n is same as h of n convolved with x of n. So, here you can see the implication, that is x of n is given to impulse response, that is a system which is having impulse response h of n, whose output is y of n. Same fashion, if h of n is given and whose impulse response is x of n, then the output will be again same as y of n. Now, as far as distributive property is considered, x of n convolved with h1n plus h2n is same as xn in convolved with h of 1n plus xn convolved with h2n. So, this is a splitting or distribution. So, same thing, x of n input, impulse response is h1 plus h2, then it is same as x1 x of n into h1n plus x of n into h2n. Now, associative property, here x of n is convolved with h1n, which is convolved with h2n, which is same as xn convolved with h1n and then whole convolved with h2n, or xn convolved with h2n and then whole convolved with h1n. So, this is the association for multiplication operation. Now, see, for example, here h of n is equal to delta n. So, y of n for unit pulse we are writing, if y of n is equal to x of k into h of n minus k and x of k into delta of n minus k, which is nothing but x of n. Same style, unit step, h of n is equal to u of n. Second one, here you can see example unit step, h of n is equal to u of n, y of n is equal to sigma x of k into h of n minus k. So, that is nothing but sigma x of k into u of n minus k, which is equal to sigma x of k. Now, delayed unit pulse, so that is h of n is equal to delta of n minus n0. So, y of n is equal to x of k into h of n minus k, that is equal to x of k into delta of n minus n0 minus k, and therefore it is also x of n minus n0. So, it is very simple and it's straightforward. There is nothing which I am supposed to explain in some simpler language or something different. There is no difference. As it is, you have to approximate or assume, accept rather. Then say for example a raised to n u of n, then y of n is equal to x of k into h of n minus k. So, that is equal to u of n into a raised to n u of n. So, which is nothing but shifted version, that is delta n plus 1 plus a delta of n minus 1 plus and so on. So, resultant is it is equal to 1 for n is equal to 0, and it is 1 minus a raised to n plus 1 divided by 1 minus a for all values of n which are greater than. Now, the properties of DT LTI system. So, causality stands for when h of n is equal to 0 for n less than 0. So, that means impulse response must be only present in the right half of our Cartesian coordinate system, that is with respect to origin. In the negative half or in the left half, it should not be there. So, that is it should be 0. Then next is stability. Impulse response when integrated over the limit k is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity, or depending upon existence of h of k, it is integrated. Then it must be having some finite value, that is it must be less than infinity. Then the system is said to be stable. In as far as bounded input bounded output relation is considered, so sufficient condition is x of n must be less than x of maximum value, whatever it is, which is less than infinity, that is it should indicate the finite value, and therefore y of n is equal to x of k into h of n minus k over the limit minus infinity to infinity. It must be also less than x of x max, that is maximum value, and which is equal to sigma h of n minus k. K is minus infinity to infinity. So, this whole value must be less than infinity, that is it should be a finite value. Now, necessary condition is h of n minus k must be equal to infinity, its magnitude. Then let x of n is equal to h of minus n, h of by h of minus n, and x1 is 1. then if it is equal to bounded, then it is said to be bounded, and if not, then it is unbounded. Say for example, y of 0 is coming out to be infinity, then it is said to be unbounded. Delta n minus 2. Since h of n is finite, the system is a finite impulse response, and therefore terms we can write x of same fashion k into h of n minus k, or h of k into x of n minus k, and the respective terms we can write. So this is expanded version is representing the difference equation in case of DT-LTI system. We can write the difference equation and we can solve also. So here you can see that n is equal to 0 to 6, x of 0, 3, 4.5 and 6, these are discrete samples, and h is 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3 and 0. And therefore if we write a convolution CONV function x comma h and then stem n comma y, and we fill the grid, then the answer comes out to be like this. So therefore this is simple thing, that is n equal to 0, y of 0 is 0, n equal to 1, y of n is 1, n of 2, y of 2 is 2.5, n of equal to 3, y of 2, 3 is equal to 4.5, n is equal to 4, so it is 3.5, n is equal to 5, it is 2, and n is equal to 6, it is once again 0. Now this way you can plot the signals. So this is 1/3. So this is given signal, then this is shifted version, and this is the actual output. So difference equation may be y of n equal to a into y of n plus minus 1 plus x of n. So here you can draw, you can identify also. So same fashion, y of n minus 1, a y of n minus 1. So like that we have written. Now here also y of 0 is equal to h of 0 is equal to 1, y of 1 is equal to h of 1 is equal to a, y of 2 is equal to h of 2 is a raised to 2, and y of 3 is equal to h of 3 is a raised to 3. So Hn is equal to a cap in n greater than 0. So this is IR unbounded by default. Now 0.6 raised to nu of n and xn is un. So we can write the equation 0.6 raised to k u of n minus k. Therefore 2.5 into bracket 1 minus 0.6 raised to n plus 1, because denominator is 1 minus that term. So therefore it is coming in the numerator as a multiplying factor, and then you can adjust. You can write a small MATLAB code. So you can see, so here x of x is all ones, just 1 1 1 1, and this is your h of k 0.6 raised to n, that is 6 raised to k minus 1, and we can write some terms and we can plot it. So this is also one more example. So these are some of the summation related identities which you need in this chapter as far as discrete time convolution is considered. So sigma a raised to k is equal to 1 minus a raised to n plus 1 divided by 1 minus a. Sigma a raised to k, where k is ranging from 0 to infinity, is 1 upon 1 minus alpha. Sigma a raised to k, where k is n to infinity, it is a raised to n divided by 1 minus a. Sigma a raised to k from n1 to n1 is a raised to n1 minus a raised to n2 plus 1 divided by 1 minus a, and sigma k into a raised to k, which is equal to a upon 1 minus a square for a less than 1. So you have to remember this. Now the properties of discrete time system. So here it is a memoryless system, is a pure gain system. So that is h of n depends only on the present state. If it is depending on future state or past state, then definitely it will need memory, and therefore these are some of the examples where this h of n minus h of n plus, or x of n minus x of n plus, y of n minus y of n plus, some such terms are appearing. Now, as far as causality is considered, y of n has no dependency on future values of x of n. Thus, h of n is equal to 0 for n less than 0, and that is non-zero only for delta n is equal to 0. So, y of n is equal to, if we write the equation in the expanded form, then x of h of k, x of n minus k, which is equal to x of n into h of 0, x of 0 into h of n, and so on. So x of n minus 1 is h of n plus 1. So like that we can write down the terms. Stability, it is a Bibo stability, so x of n must be less than m, that is absolutely summable. It should be, impulse response must be less than infinity. Invertibility, if the input can be determined from output, it has an inverse impulse response. So invertibility exists whenever hi n is convolved with hn, which is equal to delta n. Now this is say h of n, h of n is equal to u of n into 1 half raised to n. So it is memoryless, causal system, stable system or not, we need to check. So 1 half raised to k, so 1 upon 1 minus 0.5, that is 1 half. So resultant is 2, therefore it is a finite value, and therefore this signal is having bounded output, it is a stable. And a raised to k 1 upon 1 minus a is less than 1. So that is the equation which we used here, summation equation. In second example, h of n is equal to u of n plus 1 1 half raised to n, memoryless or causal or stable. Has a memory because h of n is not k into delta of n, not pure gain, but there is a term involved u of n plus 1, and therefore it is dynamic one. As far as stability is considered, summation h of k is equal to summation 1 half raised to k, so that is 2 plus 1 upon 1 minus alpha, alpha raised to k or a raised to k, so that is nothing but 1 by 2 or 0.5, and therefore resultant is equal to 4, and therefore it is finite number less than infinity, system is said to be stable. And sigma a raised to k is equal to 1 upon 1 minus a, or a less than 1, then there is, say, assume u of n into 2 raised to n, whether it is memoryless, causal or stable or not. So it is memory is not required because there is a current state 2 raised to n, so therefore um, it is not needing. Then second one is, since its value is 2 raised to k, which is infinity, so it is not stable. It is a positive number 2, and it's infinity, raised to infinity. Since it is multiplied by u of n, we have to consider upper limit infinity. We can't compromise for that. If it is some finite term, then probably the signal output will be finite one.